for just $19.95 and get free shipping.
This is the easiest makeup application I've ever done. Literally a breeze.
Now, there is a new and exciting way to look dramatically younger with Breeze. Luminous is not available in stores. You can only get this exclusive offer here, so don't wait.
To get Breeze in your home, call 1-800-545-1239 or go to getbreeze.com. Looking younger has never been faster and easier. Call 1-800-545-1239 or go to getbreeze.com. Call or click today.
The proceeding was a presentation sponsored by Trusted Luminous.
It's time to celebrate so many good things at your neighborhood Abby's Pizza Parlor.
Birthday parties, sports parties,
grad parties.
Abby's is ready to help you celebrate. Make your reservation now and let us make your celebration legendary.
Rouge Hardware. We go the extra mile so you don't have to. Conveniently located just off Highway 238 on the road to Applegate Lake, Rouge Hardware now offers UPS services for your convenience. Check out our new e-commerce site for all of your holiday shopping needs, with selections from general hardware, grow and garden, animal and livestock, automotive, and plumbing. Rouge Hardware has everything you need to prepare for the cold weather ahead. Of course, curbside service and local delivery are available. Rouge Hardware, your friendly saving more trips to town store.
Firewatch, only on Newswatch 12.
Keep Oregon Green, Oregon Department of Forestry, and all of our Southern Oregon firefighting agencies want to remind you that fire prevention is a shared responsibility. Learn how you can help prevent wildfires at keeporegongreen.org.
Don't let the weather catch you by surprise. Get the latest updates from Southern Oregon and Northern California's most trusted weather team with the Stormwatch 12 weather app. Download it today.
Every day is Taco Tuesday at Abby's. Our Taco Especial is on sale 7 days a week. Loaded with beef or chicken, onions, olives, tomatoes, cheddar cheese, and lettuce, it's a pizza you won't forget. Dine in or order online for takeout or delivery right to your door.
Download the Stormwatch 12 weather app today.
Tonight, several breaking stories as we come on the air. First Lady Jill Biden makes an unannounced visit to Ukraine. The extreme fire danger in the West and new details in the mysterious deaths of 3 American tourists. We begin with that major show of support for Ukraine. The First Lady's surprise visit comes as Moscow steps up attacks on the eve of an important military anniversary. Mrs. Biden meeting with Ukraine's First Lady, saying the U.S. stands with Ukraine. President Biden and G7 leaders announced new sanctions taking aim at Russian oil as a Russian bomb flattens a school where dozens were taking shelter. Vladimir Putin desperate for a win as Russia prepares to celebrate Victory Day and sends a top officer to Mariupol, where Ukrainian fighters are prepared to battle to the death. Marcus Moore standing by in Kyiv. Also tonight, the extreme fire danger in the West. Wicked winds and bone-dry conditions are fueling one blaze in New Mexico, now bigger than the entire city of Chicago. The Supreme Court abortion battle, new protests tonight, and word that states plan to act quickly to ban abortions if the justices strike down Roe versus Wade. New fears of a COVID resurgence with a jump in new hospital admissions. Major U.S. companies are now warning of new supply chain disruptions amid strict COVID lockdowns overseas. Also breaking reports just coming in about an officer stabbed in Jerusalem. The mysterious deaths at a luxury Bahamas resort. 3 Americans dead. What we're learning about a possible cause. Soaring gas prices jumping 13 cents in just 1 week. What's fueling the most recent spike? And a mother's triumph for epic battle to live. And a Mother's Day she'll always remember.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on this busy Sunday. I'm Lindsay Davis. On this Mother's Day, we begin with the major show of support for the people of Ukraine. Several high-profile surprise visits, including from America's First Lady, Dr. Jill Biden, crossing the border into the country just hours ago, where she met Ukraine's First Lady. Dr. Biden presenting a bouquet of flowers, saying the people of the United States stand with the people of Ukraine. President Biden and other G7 leaders also showing their support, meeting virtually with President Zelensky, announcing a new round of punishing sanctions on Moscow. All of the meetings come as Russia escalates its attacks in the east. 60 people are feared dead after a Russian bomb destroyed a school where civilians were sheltering. And in Mariupol, Russian forces are working to silence the last remaining resistance to their takeover of the southern port city. Ahead of the Kremlin's planned Victory Day celebrations, they're set to take place just just a few hours from now. And ABC's Marcus Moore leads us off tonight from Kyiv, where he's been watching today's developments.
Tonight, powerful signs of global solidarity with Ukraine. Just hours before a major military holiday for Russia. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden making an unannounced visit to Western Ukraine, meeting face-to-face with Ukrainian First Lady Olena Zelenska, her first public appearance in Ukraine since the start of the war, giving her a bouquet of flowers. And meeting with children displaced by war, saying she wanted to come on Mother's Day.
I thought it was important to show the Ukrainian people that this war has to stop. And this war has been brutal.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau also making an unannounced visit here, meeting with President Zelensky in Kyiv. President Biden holding a virtual meeting with President Zelensky and G7 leaders today, announcing new sanctions on Russia as Vladimir Putin prepares for Victory Day celebrations on Monday, commemorating the Soviet victory over Nazi Germany. The G7 saying in a statement, quote, Vladimir Putin's actions bring shame on Russia and the historic sacrifices of its people. President Zelensky releasing this video saying millions of lost lives, crippled destinies, tortured souls, and millions of reasons to say evil never again. This year we say never again differently. We hear never again differently. Pro-Russian separatists releasing this video of Putin's deputy foreign minister touring the key port city of Mariupol today ahead of a possible Victory Day parade. Just miles away, Ukrainian fighters mounting a last stand at the bombed-out steel plant there, a day after the last remaining civilians were evacuated. The far-right Azov regiment holding a virtual press conference, refusing to surrender.
We are basically here a dead man, yeah. Most of us know this, yes, and why we fight so fearlessly.
Russia escalating attacks in the east. 60 people feared dead after a Russian bomb obliterated a school in the village of Bilogorivka, where dozens were hiding. Images posted by government officials show smoke rising from the rubble. And in Irpin, we spoke to Katerina. Russian bombs leaving the home she shares with her partner and 4-year-old daughter destroyed.
My child is with her grandmother in a safe place. She's going to have a birthday on May 30. And a few days ago, I asked her, what is the most, what's your biggest wish? And she said, I want the war to stop. At that moment, I just cried out.
But even in a war zone, this mother is optimistic about the future.
Everything's going to be fine. We just have to fight for our freedom. I hope that it will end soon. Yeah.
It has to end.
It has to end. It has to end with we have to win.
That remains the hope of Ukrainians. Marcus Moore joins us once again from Kyiv. And Marcus, we know that the U.S. has reopened the embassy in Kyiv. We are now just a few hours away from Russia's planned Victory Day celebration. What more are you learning about that tonight?
Lindsay, we know that the ceremonies are expected to be smaller than last year, with 10,000 military personnel participating compared to 12,000 in 2021. And President Putin is expected to deliver a speech. And throughout these past 2 months, he's only referred to the events here in Ukraine as a special military operation. And the British Defense Secretary and other Western officials are concerned that he will use this occasion to declare war on Ukraine. Lindsay.
Marcus Moore, our thanks to you. For more on those new sanctions on Russia, let's get right to ABC's White House correspondent Karen Travers. Karen, the announcement is meant to show unity, but also hit Russia really where it hurts. What's left for the U.S. and its allies to go after at this point?
Lindsay, the U.S. has already banned Russian oil imports, but now the other G7 nations are committing to banning or phasing out Russian oil. A senior administration official admitting that this is not going to be easy or immediate, but the goal here is to limit Vladimir Putin's ability to fund the war in Ukraine. The U.S. is also placing sanctions on 3 state-controlled Russian television networks that the Biden administration says is spreading misinformation about the war in Ukraine. There's also a new ban on Americans providing accounting and consulting services to Russians. The White House says this latest round of sanctions is meant to ratchet up the cost on Vladimir Putin and Russia. Lindsay?
Really trying to put the squeeze on Russia. Karen, thank you. And we turn now to the extreme fire danger in the Southwest. In northern New Mexico, more than 176,000 acres have already burned, and firefighters are now struggling to contain the flames. ABC's Zareen Shah is in New Mexico for us tonight, where they are bracing for what might be ahead.
Tonight, the worst combination of high winds and bone-dry conditions threatening to explode the Calf Canyon's Hermit Peak fire in New Mexico. The smoke billowing for miles from the wildfire that's already burned an area larger than Chicago. Firefighters working around the clock to try and stay ahead of what the National Weather Service is calling a dangerous, long-duration and potentially historic critical fire weather event.
We've done everything we can so far and are continuing to do everything we can to stop this spread. But what it really boils down to is we're just humans, and Mother Nature's driving this ship.
The fire has been burning for more than a month and has forced 12,000 families from their homes. We met some of them at a shelter on this Mother's Day.
I can see you getting emotional. What are you thinking about right now? What's going through your mind?
Just my family. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about everyone back home, and I just want everyone to be safe.
There are still people in the evacuation areas that are refusing to leave. You can't outrun this fire. If it gets up and going, you are in the path of danger. This is a time to leave, get out of the evacuation areas.
And the time for greatest concern is right now through tomorrow night. That's when we could see wind gusts of up to 60 miles per hour in some places. That means it's incredibly easy for new fires to start and very difficult to battle those existing ones. Lindsay.
Zoreen, thank you. That fire danger in the Southwest is certainly a major concern. Let's get straight to meteorologist Cheryl Scott from our Chicago station WLS. Hi, Cheryl.
Yes, Lindsay, this is a dangerous combination of relentless strong winds and very dry conditions that will persist through at least Monday. The fire danger stretching across several states. Red flag warnings in effect from California to Texas. And strong high winds could also bring down trees and power lines. And just east of the fire danger, summer-like warmth breaking records in Texas this weekend. That warmth building into the middle of the country near 90 as far north as Iowa. And this warmth sliding to the East Coast later this week. Lindsay?
Many on the East Coast will welcome those warmer temperatures. Cheryl, thank you. And we turn now to the battle over abortion. In the wake of that leaked Supreme Court draft opinion, this weekend abortion rights protesters targeted the private homes of two high court justices. ABC's Faith Abube is at the Supreme Court for us tonight.
Tonight, protesters back on the streets and in front of the U.S. Supreme Court after last week's bombshell leak of the Supreme Court draft opinion. From California.
Abortion is healthcare, and it's 2022. I can't believe we're having this conversation, but here we are.
To Texas.
I do believe in the right to life, and I believe that this right to life is being denied.
Demonstrators showing the abortion debate is far from over.
Keep abortion safe and legal.
And in the D.C. area, dozens protesting outside the homes of conservative Justice Brett Kavanaugh and Chief Justice John Roberts. In a statement last week, the court saying the draft opinion, which suggests the conservative majority on the court plans to overturn the landmark 1973 Roe v. Wade ruling, quote, does not represent a decision by the court or the final position of any member on the issues in the case. But House Speaker Nancy Pelosi today saying the draft is still a slap in the face.
Here we are on Mother's Day, a week where the court has slapped women in the face in terms of disrespect for their judgment about the size and timing of their families. So the fact is, let's keep our eye on the ball. The ball is in the court. Those justices.
And there are renewed calls for Congress to take action. The Women's Health Protection Act, which would codify federal abortion protections, passed the House back in September, but has stalled in the U.S. Senate.
My Democratic friends are trying to pass a law Wednesday that will allow abortion right up to the day before the baby is delivered. Different states will take different approaches, so the abortion debate will not go away in the country. It will be decided by the people, not a handful of judges.
Senator Amy Klobuchar telling ABC News that if Wednesday's scheduled vote fails, Democrats are ready to take the issue directly to voters.
We march straight to the ballot box, and the women of this country and the men who stand with them will vote like they've never voted before.
And Lindsay, the reality is Democrats need at least 60 votes in the Senate in order to pass this measure. However, at this time, they just don't have the support. That vote Wednesday is expected to fail. Lindsay?
You're still planning on going ahead with that vote anyway. Faith, thank you. Tonight, COVID cases are on the rise across the country, with hospitalizations also climbing. There are now about 19,000 patients being treated for COVID. That's up 10% from last week. And the warnings tonight from American tech giants about the impact of COVID on their operations overseas. ABC's Phil Lipoff reports in from New York.
Tonight, COVID infections and hospitalizations climbing across the country. More than 40 states and territories seeing an increase of 10% or more in the last week. In New York, Governor Kathy Hochul announcing on Twitter she's tested positive for COVID, as the mayor of New York City isn't ruling out a new mask mandate. The Biden administration pushing Congress for additional COVID funding.
This virus continues to evolve, and we may see a pretty sizable wave of infections, hospitalizations, and deaths this fall and winter.
Concern tonight as well about the global supply chain after COVID lockdowns in Shanghai and other areas of China continue to disrupt business across the world. Apple, Tesla, Procter & Gamble among the companies having to close factories, saying the ripple effect could last into the summer.
I didn't see my kids for 3 months. I didn't see the world for 3 months.
In Las Vegas, Rowena Salas spent this Mother's Day thanking the doctors and nurses who saved her life. She gave birth early while struggling with COVID, then quickly fell into a coma just after Thanksgiving. 3 months of care, finally meeting her son Oliver for the first time.
I am grateful to be here today and to be able to care for my babies and see my family and everyone else that cared for us. I'm grateful for all of you.
Even as hospitalizations and infections continue to rise, the daily death rate continues to fall. Proof, the CDC says, that vaccines and booster shots are working. Still, the U.S. could reach 1 million COVID deaths this week. Lindsay?
Just a staggering number, Phil. Thank you. Now the investigation into the mysterious deaths of 3 American tourists at a resort in the Bahamas. They were all found Friday, the Sandals Emerald Bay in Exuma. A 4th person, the wife of one of the victims, survived and is recovering at a Miami area hospital. ABC's Lama Hassan tonight with the search for answers.
Tonight, nearly 3 days after 3 Americans on vacation died at this exclusive Sandals Emerald Bay luxury resort in Exuma, neither Bahamian officials nor the hotel have announced a cause, only that they don't suspect foul play.
We are conducting our investigations as we speak.
Austin Chiarella tells ABC News his father, Vincent, is one of the 3 who died. His mother, Donis, airlifted to a Miami area hospital, is lucky to be alive. She is said to be in fair condition and is expected to survive. Austin describing the chilling details, saying his mother woke up and my dad was laying there on the floor. Her legs and arms were swollen and she couldn't move. 2 other victims were found in a separate room. Officials say they all sought help at a clinic the day before.
There were some signs of individuals presenting to the clinic with nausea, vomiting, and some symptoms. They were eventually seen to and subsequently discharged themselves.
Police say 2 of the victims showed signs of convulsion. Sandals saying we are actively working to support both the investigation as well as the guests' families in every way possible during this difficult time. Lindsay, local authorities believe this is an isolated incident, and the State Department tells ABC News they are closely monitoring the investigation. The U.S. Embassy says they are working to assist the families. Lindsay.
Lama, thank you. Tonight, a further escalation of violence in Israel. A police officer was stabbed in Jerusalem. Security forces shot the alleged assailant outside the Damascus gate. The officer is expected to survive. This is the 2nd stabbing this week. Israeli forces arrested 2 Palestinian suspects that they say were involved in Thursday's deadly attack that killed 3 Israelis. And there's still much more ahead on World News Tonight this Sunday. The investigation into who may have set a fire at the offices of a prominent anti-abortion rights group, and why gas prices are skyrocketing once again as we head into a new work week.
Wayfair has everything I need to make my home totally me. Sometimes I'm a homebody, can never have too many pillows. Sometimes I'm all business, a serious chair for a serious business woman. I'm always a mom. That is why you were smart and chose the durable fabric. Perfect. I'm not a chef, and don't mind if I do. But thanks to Wayfair, I do love my kitchen. Yes!
Wayfair, you've got just what I need. To support a strong immune system, your body needs routine. Centrum helps your immune defenses every day with vitamin C, D, and zinc. Season after season. Ace your immune support with Centrum. Now with a new look.
Get help managing your money for the life and years ahead with Fidelity Income Planning. We'll look at what you've saved, what you'll need, and build a straightforward plan to generate income even when you're not working. A plan that gives you the chance to grow your savings and create cash flow that lasts. Along the way, we'll give you ways to be tax efficient. And you can start, stop, or adjust your plan at any time without the unnecessary fees. We'll help you go from saving to living.
Keep life zesty with Zantac 360 Degrees. Heartburn can't stop this party because Zantac 360's triple action prevents, relieves, and lasts, working in as little as 15 minutes. Keep life zesty with Zantac 360.
Tonight, police in Madison, Wisconsin say a fire at the headquarters of an anti-abortion rights group was targeted arson. The fire was reported early this morning. Someone also spray painted a message on the outside of the building. No injuries have been reported, but the president of Wisconsin Family Action says she considers the fire a direct threat against her group. Tonight, Americans are being forced to dig even deeper into their wallets when they fill up. AAA says gas prices are now averaging close to $4.32 a gallon. That's up 13 cents just in the past week as crude oil prices soar. Hard to believe, but 1 year ago, gas was less than $3 a gallon. When we come back, why baby formula is disappearing from some stores nationwide and how the extreme Western drought revealed a decades-old crime.
I started screening for colon cancer because of my late husband, Jay. I wish he could have seen our daughter, Ellie, get married on the best day of her life. But colon cancer took him from us, like it's taken so many others. That's why I've made it my mission to talk about getting screened and ask people to share their reasons why.
I screen for my growing family. Being with them means everything to me.
I screen for my girls. They're always surprising me.
I screened for my son. I'm his biggest fan.
If you're 45 or older and at average risk, it's time to screen. Today, there are more screening options than ever before, including Cologuard.
Cologuard is non-invasive and finds 92% of colon cancers, even in early stages. It's not for those at high risk. False positive and negative results may occur. Ask your provider if Cologuard is right for you.
Everyone has a reason to screen for colon cancer. If you're 45 or older, get started at missiontoscreen.com.
With Steel, the great American outdoors are closer than you think. Pick up at over 10,000 local Steel dealers. Real Steel. Find yours.
Fur, you won't faze me. Unlike Zyrtec, Allegra won't make me drowsy.
Allegra starts working 2 times faster than Claritin. So take Allegra before allergy symptoms take over you. And for kids, try allergist-recommended non-drowsy Children's Allegra.
Does daily stress leave you feeling out of sync? New Dove Men Stress Relief Body Wash with a plant-based adaptogen helps alleviate stress on skin so you can get back in sync. New Dove Men, a restorative shower for body and mind.
Of course you've seen underwear that fits like this, but never for bladder leaks. New Always Discreet Boutique Black. I feel protected all day, and it fits so discreet, you'd never know they're for bladder leaks. Always Discreet Boutique.
For back pain, I've always been a take 2 and call in the morning guy. But my new doctor recommended Salonpas. Without another pill upsetting my stomach, I get powerful, effective, and safe relief. Salonpas, it's good medicine.
To the index now, and a grim discovery in the extreme western drought. That prolonged dry spell is causing water levels at Lake Mead to drop so low that it's revealing some of the lake's lost secrets, including a second body. The first one was found days ago. It's thought to be from the 1980s. Next, a nationwide shortage of baby formula is growing worse. More than 30% of the most popular brands are now out of stock. Major retailers, including CVS, Target, and Walgreens, are limiting the amount that shoppers can buy. The shortage began in February. Batches of 3 brands of powdered formula manufactured at one Abbott plant were recalled after reports that 4 infants had developed severe illnesses. 2 of them died. Tonight, a special honor for one of Ukraine's most beloved heroes. President Zelensky, alongside Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, awarded a medal to Patron, a bomb-sniffing dog. David Muir introduced us to Patron a few weeks back. The fearless 2-year-old Jack Russell Terrier is credited with helping to discover at least 90 explosive devices. And the summer movie season is getting off to a strong start. Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness took in an estimated $185 million in the U.S. and Canada this weekend. That's the biggest opening of the year, and it's more than double the opening of the first Doctor Strange movie 6 years ago. Disney is the parent company of Marvel and ABC. And when we come back, how one mom got the greatest gift of all this Mother's Day.
In the next minute, 250 couples will discover they're going to need more space. Yep, the house.
We gotta sell it. Gotta stage it.
Excuse me.
Fix it up.
Nail pre-rinse. Ew.
Strangers touching everything?
Or skip the hassles and sell directly to Open Door. Done.
Oh, wow.
When life's doors open, we'll handle the house.
Bring your eyes into the spotlight with Lumify eye drops. Lumify dramatically reduces redness to help your eyes look brighter, wider, and more luminous, radiant, vibrant for up to 8 hours. Lumify. You won't believe your eyes.
In this market, you'll find Fisher Investments is different than other money managers.
Different how? Aren't we all just looking for the hottest stocks?
Nope. We use diversified strategies to position our clients' portfolios for their long-term goals.
But you still sell investments that generate high commissions for you, right?
No, we don't sell commission products. We're a fiduciary, obligated to act in our clients' best interest.
So when do you make more money? Only when your clients make more money?
Yep, we do better when our clients do better. At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
Life doesn't stop for diabetes. Be ready for every moment with Glucerna. It's the #1 doctor-recommended brand that's scientifically designed to help manage your blood sugar. Live every moment. Glucerna.
Dove knows we damage our hair a lot.
My hair, I curl it. I have to use a lot of heat.
New Dove Hair Therapy shampoo and conditioner with ceramide and peptide. It nourishes at a cellular level to rescue damaged hair. Discover 10 times stronger hair with new Dove Hair Therapy Rescue and Protect.
Your mission, stand up to moderate to severe rheumatoid arthritis and take it on with Rinvoq. Rinvoq, a once-daily pill, can dramatically improve symptoms. Rinvoq helps tame pain, stiffness, swelling, and for some, Rinvoq can even significantly reduce RA fatigue. That's Rinvoq relief. With RA, your overactive immune system attacks your joints. Rinvoq regulates it to help stop the attack.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Talk to your rheumatologist about Rinvoq relief. Rinvoq, make it your mission. Learn how AbbVie could help you save on Rinvoq.
Celebrate Mother's Day tonight. The top 7 perform their favorite TikTok songs with special guest mentor will.i.am.
This could be the best night ever.
American Idol, live coast to coast tonight on ABC.
The Rookie, tonight 10/9 Central on ABC and stream on Hulu.
Take America's #1 news with you anywhere you go, anytime, free. Download the ABC News app now. Breaking news, exclusives, 24/7. There for you with one touch. The ABC News app. Download it now.
Finally tonight, marking this Mother's Day with just one of many moms who is truly an inspiration.
Callie Colwick's Mother's Day began this morning like millions of other moms.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day. But her journey to this day, celebrating it with her husband Kevin and 7-year-old daughter Kenzie, is rather extraordinary.
It's really the first Mother's Day in 5 Mother's Days that I am fully able to just be present with my daughter.
That's because in December 2016, when Callie, already mother to then 1-year-old Kenzie and pregnant with her second child, developed a rare complication, causing her to lose the pregnancy. She then developed a serious infection. To save her life, doctors had to amputate both her legs below the knee and part of her left hand.
Callie would spend the next year and a half in the hospital undergoing dozens of surgeries, followed by months of rehab. 2 years later, she was finally strong enough to return home to her family.
I was getting up on my knees for the first time, and my daughter had seen me in the way that your child loves you and just the pure innocence and happiness.
I'm getting you a hug by your back.
But she just ran over and gave me the biggest hug. I instantly melted.
Once she was strong enough to be fitted with prosthetic legs, her life changed again. With each step, a renewed sense of confidence and independence. Kenzie, right by Mom's side.
You never expect that your daughter will be watching you take your first steps. You anticipate and you are excited and get to watch her take her first steps.
Callie says through it all, Kenzie doesn't see her as anything other than Mom.
I'm thankful to be alive. I'm thankful to be here with my daughter and to be the mom that I get to be with her now, because I almost didn't get that chance.
Happy Mother's Day to Callie and all the moms. David Muir right back here tomorrow night. I'm Lindsay Davis in New York. Have a great evening. Good night.
Thank you for making World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast. Troy Aikman, Joe Buck, they're the new team for ESPN's Monday Night Football. Now tomorrow morning, they'll reveal one of the big matchups coming this season live. The exclusive is on GMA.
Oregon is broken. Criminals empowered. Homelessness. Taxes. Broken elections. And inflation. We don't need more negative insiders or career politicians. Only a true conservative outsider can take back Oregon. Dr. Bud Pierce, a small businessman, Marine veteran, and cancer doctor who believes in making Oregon sane, secure, and stable again. Conservatives stand united behind Bud Pierce's plan to restore security, prosperity, and hope for Oregonians. Believe in Bud Pierce. Paid for by Bud Pierce for Oregon, 21089.
I've never been afraid of a challenge. I was one of the first women certified to fly helicopters with external loads, flying missions to rescue lost hikers and over Mount St. Helens. In the air, you don't see Democratic or Republican homes, just communities trying to get by. And while a lot of politicians talk, I get things done. Only an independent governor can make the parties work together. And this daughter of Oregon won't give up on the state I love without one hell of a fight.
The impacts of fentanyl and other drugs are affecting millions of Americans nationwide every day. Tonight, we have an exclusive story of one local Medford father who overcame his drug addiction but still had to witness the impacts they had on his family. Plus, Oregon's public defender system has shown cracks for years, but a post-pandemic surplus is delaying cases and even exposing shocking constitutional landmines. Right now, we'll have those stories coming up right now.
Watching out for you. This is a special edition of Newswatch 12.
Happy Sunday, and thank you for joining us on this special edition of Newswatch 12. And of course, a big Mother's Day to everyone out there. This is Newswatch 12's Brett Taylor. Thank you for joining us. Now, the 26th annual Native American Festival happened today to honor also all mothers that are out there. Newswatch 12's Cameron Baber has the story.
Here at Riverside Park in Grants Pass, the People of the Earth Foundation is bringing the community together with music, food, and vendors in celebration of Mother's Day. This Native American Arts Festival and Mother's Day powwow was a free event that showcased the culture of Indigenous people.
It's a way to celebrate the mothers and to honor all the women that gave birth and that are capable of giving birth. I mean, a lot of us are moms in many different ways, not just biologically.
Not only did the event celebrate mothers by handing out flowers, the foundation also focused on people learning about Native American culture.
It's a nice way to come here and learn about the different cultures, meet people, kind of get exposed. I think the more we learn about each other, the better we can get along.
Vendors had booths lined up along the park with jewelry and clothes for sale. Foundation members sang songs and held dance competitions.
A lot of these different traditions that you're going to see here are traditions that have existed on these lands for thousands and thousands of years.
Families who showed up today were able to indulge in the Native American culture and enjoy an artistic and nature-filled Mother's Day. Reporting in Grants Pass, Cameron Baber, Newswatch 12.
Turning over to Storm Watch 12 meteorologist Josh Colbert in the Weather Center. We just saw it in that video. It's been off and on raining all day today. What more can we expect throughout the rest of the day today?
Yeah, we can expect more of those off and on showers throughout the rest of the evening. We've actually had some very interesting views from this vantage point in Medford. This view coming from the People's Bank off Middle Road. Earlier we saw a shelf cloud that was kind of lingering over one of the table rocks, and up towards Shady Cove we've seen several rain shafts kind of moving through the area. So it's just kind of an indication of those off and on showers that we've had it throughout the course of the day. It's been a very cool Mother's Day thus far, 48 degrees right now in Medford. And here's a look at the radar right now. Again, just kind of scattered showers all about. And there are some of those heavier showers that you were seeing as we were looking northward from the People's Bank off of Biddle Road. Now, here's definitely the good news. There's been enough breaks in the action today where we've seen enough snow melting. We actually have bare pavement on Siskiyou Summit right now. So that is some excellent news. And for some of the Cascade passes, I'll step off the screen so you can get a better look. Maybe it's looking a little slushy there at Diamond Lake Junction and maybe at Lake of the Woods, but we've definitely seen some significant snow melt today. We do, however, still have this winter weather advisory in place for the Cascades and Siskiyous until 11 p.m. and then for western Siskiyou County until 8 p.m. We will have even more active weather into Monday. I'll be tracking that active start to the new work week coming up in a few minutes.
In an exclusive story tonight, last week we got the chance to get to know Paul Aragon, a man who was once addicted to drugs but is now actually helping others. However, as we got to know more of Paul's story, we learned that his battle against drugs never really truly ended, even after he got clean.
Yeah, it's been a long journey of helping people.
Just inside of this store on the corner of South Fir and West 10th Street in Medford is Paul Aragon, working hard and diligently to help those addicted to drugs find a better life for themselves. But if you haven't stopped in to get to know Paul, you may not know his incredible yet painful story of how he got to where he is today.
I was an addict myself for over 20 years, addicted to methamphetamines and alcohol.
For Paul, it all started when he was just 9 years old, when he took his first sip of alcohol to try and cover the pain of a traumatic childhood. And as he got older,
by the time I was 14 years old, I was a blackout alcoholic. And then at the age of 16 years old, I stuck a needle in my arm for the first time.
what were those years like for you?
They were hell.
The problem only got worse. Going from juvenile halls to jail, Paul battled through his addiction to drugs and alcohol for more than 20 years before he finally had enough.
I decided that at that point, because I had a son that was 6 months old and another one that was 2.5 years old, and so I had made a choice at that point to stop.
Shortly later, Paul began to take the steps to better his life by getting into the profession to help those who were once in his shoes. But years later, the same drug-filled past that once impacted him found its way into his stepson.
Tristan started using heroin at the age of 17 years old.
And just 7 years later, one day before Tristan was set to go into rehab.
On May 17th of 2021, Tristan had died from a fentanyl overdose.
What was that moment like when you had heard the news?
My wife and I were having dinner when we got the phone call that he had overdosed, and my wife dropped to her knees and started crying, and I wrapped my arms around her, and I knew exactly what it was right away.
Paul and his family, devastated by the news, couldn't help but be reminded that this was now the second child that they had lost to drugs in less than a month.
Her daughter was on her way home from dinner with a friend, and somebody came high on large amounts of methamphetamines and over the legal limit of alcohol, came into oncoming traffic and hit my daughter head on.
For the last year, Paul and his wife have tried to remember and honor their children's lives as best as they can, but the pain continues to resurface.
We have a lot of bad days and a lot of good days, and we just try to adjust our emotions to however we feel when we wake up in the morning.
And for Paul, every day he heads back into work is like a reminder that the impacts of drugs is what killed his two precious children.
It's an emotion that's undescribable, that I come back to the field that killed my daughter and the drugs that killed our son. And it's hard. It is one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
But instead of giving up, Paul continues to fight through the pain.
I have a passion for addicts, and I always have, since the day I got clean and sober. I know that my daughter and my son would want me to continue on in this field and continue to change lives and fight the war on drugs. And so I continue to do that.